Hey guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Restorations and Repairs. Today, I got another scan tool review to do with you. This nice mid-level scanner is made by Mucar. It's the Mucar 632. I've reviewed quite a few little Mucar products over the years, from little handheld low-end tools to stuff like this. They're a brand that doesn't get a ton of attention, but honestly, I've been pretty proud and pretty happy with the stuff that I've played with. Like it works, it just works. Anyway, this stuff here, let's go ahead and open her up. We'll take it out of the box. So we got ourselves a manual and an English. Oh boy, let's see here. I think we got ourselves about 6 pages of initial setup. That's kind of cool. It does come with not just the one that's on here, but a spare screen protector screen. I like that. And then it does come with a USB to USB-C charging cable, and it is a wired connection. So that is what you get when you get this kit. And the unit, well, let me get the camera closer in and we'll take a look at the unit. All right, for a budget scanner, you're not going to get a ton. You don't get a camera and you don't get a kickstand, but that is okay. What you do get over here on the side is a charging port area. If I can get this lifted off, yeah. Charging port and an micro SD card for transferring of files. Not bad. Up on top, our OBD2 plug and a power button. And that's exactly what we're going to do, is power this thing on. Go ahead and see if I can pull this. No, of course not. Yeah, I'm going to have to work on that, but I'll work on that another day. Okay, we got to start up. I've read the stuff, even though I haven't. Oh, got to agree to that. Oh, there we go. And that's it. Oh boy, do I love that. No garbage, no registration, no garbage, just plain old-fashioned let's go. And that's what I want. People don't want to give away all their personal information just to diagnose cars. I wish more manufacturers realized that. Well, let's see what we got here. We do have it either as a list or a nice layout like it does. Auto search, diagnose, OBD2, history, report, feedback, and maintenance list, as well as a live customer support. You can see the maintenance, ABS, SCR, airbag, battery matching, electronic parking brake, DPF, EGR, throttle, and the list goes on. And some of these, because they're just icons, I'm not 100%, but I believe that's throttle. I'm not sure. That's gear gear matching, and maybe gear relearn, immobilizer, injector coating, oil change reset, steering angle sensor, and looks like tire pressure. Cool. And upgrade, well, we got some upgrade stuff if you want to. And what else we got in here? We got settings. Let's get into that. We can set up an email address, do our Wi-Fi to get our updates. We have a photo album and a screen recorder. We have FCA diagnostics and Renault Dacia, I think it's called, gateway unlock. We don't sell either one of those here in the US, so thank God. Feedback forms, customer management forms, and business information if you want to add that stuff in there. We can even put a little portrait, which I think is pretty darn cool. Brightness, I'm going to turn that up some so you guys have a better time seeing that. Language is English. We can change the time zone here to America, and we're going to look for New York. There we go. And we'll get out of there, and that should update in no time at all. Screen time, metric unit. Yeah, let's go with metric on this stuff. Maintenance, firmware fix, clear data, restore factory settings, remote system, and cast screen. That is nice, man. Casting screen is something you don't see on scan tools anywhere near enough. A little hard to see underneath the sticker that I mangled getting off, but battery life, upload, download speed, and Wi-Fi signal, plus a clock. Now let's take a look at the info. Software version currently is 1.02. And we have 32 gig of RAM built into this thing, or storage space. I guess that would be SD RAM, whatever. All right, cool. All right, let's get back into diagnose. And what we're going to do now, well, we can give feedback, we can report, we have a history for vehicles, we can get into generic OBD2, we can get into diag scan, and we can get into VIN auto search. I am going to take this thing out to the car, and we're going to use the VIN auto search to check it out. Well, I will say about this right out of the gate is it's light. And it is pretty snappy. You see how fast those things pop up and pop out? I like that. Let's check it out in the car, though. All right, well, here we are with a Mucar in the car. And the cable is a nice way of hanging this off of the steering wheel to allow for hands-free operation, or hands-free holding anyway. So let's go ahead and see if she can find my car. And it sounds like we're gonna have a winner, like chicken dinner. Boom, look at that, took no time. 2018 Mitsubishi Mirage is what we're gonna be playing with today. And let's see what it can find. There we go. So we want to do an auto search, and we have a CVT. Oop, I hit the wrong button. We have a CVT, and it is that number right there, and we're going to get into it. And let's do a full system scan. And there it goes. It's already working on it. Boom. All 4 systems have been scanned on this vehicle, and it's saying, hey, there we go. All right, so it found all of them. Let's do a health report. What that's going to do is read all of those and see, hey, any kind of issues? There shouldn't be, but you never know. Oh, we found an issue. 4 systems found, no codes. We can create a report on that, and we can do a pre-scan or a post-scan. We'll do a pre-scan. We can, look, it's got the mileage in here, but let's change that to mileage. Right, and there we go. We'll hit OK. Shop name, I can add all this stuff in. And of course, you can add it into the shop area, and then it will auto-populate when you do that, including your little picture. We'll hit that. And there it is. So here's my diagnostic report. And I can create that as a PDF and save it. Right, and there it is. I mean, like, here's my name, here's my email, here's all this stuff, here's my mileage. And I can then share that through email or Bluetooth to a phone if you want to. And this gives customer peace of mind. You know what I mean? Like they have more confidence in a shop that's able to produce documented proof like this. All right, let's take a look at some of these systems. I'm going to get into system selection. I don't know. Yeah, let's take a look at SRS and see. There might not be a whole lot going on. This is a very basic car considering it's new. Read clear. Let's see what the data stream is going to show us. Not a lot there to choose from, but that's not a fault of the tool. That's just this thing is not so great. Actuation test, SRS lamp warning. I guess we can turn that on. You can see I got a seatbelt light on. Can I turn that on? Let's hit perform. And look, now look, there's my SRS light. Let's perform it again. And it should go off. There it goes, right? So we're able to verify stuff like that with it. All right, and let's see. So that's that. That's one of the codes. Transmission. Let's take a look at what's going on with the transmission on this. CVT, read clear. Let's take a look at the data stream. ABS actuation, accelerator values, accelerator position. Whoa, what else we got here? Brake switch. And then we got oil temperature we can take a look at. And oil temperature is important, plus RPM. When we're going to do a service on these cars, they have to have the transmission fluid at a specific degree, and you can see it's at 63 Celsius. And you can see it's pretty snappy, isn't it? Pretty snappy. Let's go to Imperial on that. Now we have it in Fahrenheit. And if we want to look at that as a bar graph, pretty nice. Very quick response. I'm not sure what the processor is in this, like how many cores or whatnot, but I'll say it's a moving. It moves quick. Look at that. Yeah, that's nice. All right, let's get out of that. And if it had a code, we have the ability to read freeze frames as well. All right, main engine here. Let's take a quick look at this. And like, this is a mid-level scan tool, but if you're a DIYer, a lot of times this is probably going to get it done, especially up through, say, 2018, 2020. Even 2021. Beyond that, these cars get a little more sophisticated, and having some more bidirectional functions might help you, but only helps you if you actually know what you're doing. Like, these are actuation tests. I can check injectors. I can turn on and off the fuel pump, purge solenoid for the evap system. I can change my timing. I got coolant fan operations that are bidirectional, vent solenoid, AC relay, and oil control. That is all bidirectional stuff. Could come in real handy if you're trying to diagnose an engine system on this. And of course we have a data stream, which is going to have a ton of stuff for this car. Even though it's a very simple car, Still got a lot. AC switch we can look at. I'm just picking ones that we can play with that I can show you here. Brake booster pressure. We look at the brake light switch too. Cruise control on and off. Like, so there's some stuff here we can look at. All right, let's go to those. And let's see, I'll hit the brakes and you can see that voltage just scream upward as we go. Okay. I'm not turning the steering wheel, but a second I jiggle it, you can see the amperage move up on the electric power steering. Cruise control's off. Well, I could turn that on if I could get to it. Oh, it's behind this. I don't know if I can turn that on. We'll have to leave that off. But brake line switch, you can see come on and off. AC switch is on, turn that off. Right, so it's ways of diagnosing mechanical stuff in the car without getting out a multimeter and pulling the dash to figure out if the switch is mechanically working, you know, right at it. If the computer registers, hey, I saw that on off, turn on and off, then it's happy as can be, right? It's gonna be pleased, and it's gonna give you the proper reports and save you a bunch of time. All right, let's see here, get out of that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with these Mucars. They're pretty cool. I've had one, I think, all the way back like 2017. All right, and then we get, you know, you can manually diagnose. And then we do have generic OBD2, so let's pop into that real quick. Trying to keep the reflection of the sun off of it. There we go, I already found it. And we can do that like without even getting deeper into it. Readiness, if I'm looking to see if a car's going to check the, you know, be able to go through state inspection, readiness is cleared. No readiness not completed. A couple readiness not available, like this car doesn't have an air pump. All right, we get into it, and we still have, you know, live data, which sometimes will give you different stuff. Fault codes, clearing fault codes, onboard testing. So evap tests usually are the ones that are going to be found on here. Let's see what shows up. These are just telling us they're all okay here as far as the test that it runs. And continuous onboard mode, read vehicle info. Yeah, so you get the idea. And I mean, reading a fault code, even in a generic side, no fault codes, right? So that's about it. This is not, you know, the most in-depth video you'll see probably on a scan tool, but this is not the most in-depth scan tool you're going to find. That's okay. I do want to point out before I let y'all go that it also does have manual controls if you don't like the touchscreen. Like a lot of times if you have gloves on, they become very irresponsive. So that way you can still operate these stuff with the push buttons there. And again, if you don't like the layout here, it also has this in manual mode, right? So you can pick it from whatever. All right, let's go into maintenance mode here so you can see it, right? And that's a good collection of stuff. Right on, my friends. Well, I'll leave a link to where you can get one of these things, and I will see you all next time. Take care.